All right, we are back at it, fresh from Scheme GP. Welcome back to 230 Conversations, everybody. My name is Ashley Sekel, and today I am joined by the wonderful Nkosi Ndimande. Our Nkosi Bingelela,
Hi, guys.
Nkosi, guys, is always behind the scenes. Today, she has decided to grace us with her presence to do some questions and commenting on the front of the camera. This is our graphics designer. Let's hope it was comfortable. We're going to be having a very interesting discussion namhlanje. We are joined by an anonymous guest, my ex. And we've decided to keep her anonymous. Ngoba, she's going to be dishing out some heavy blows today. She's going to be taking us into the depth of the criminal world from a female's perspective. And yeah, also for her security, we're going to be withholding igama lakhe, but you will be able to hear her voice. My ex, please greet the people, the community of 230 Conversations, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Sanibonani nonke.
No, siyabonga kakhulu. Because i-interview namhlanje it's quite personal for me, in the sense that I know my ex. In fact, about 2 weeks ago, I was going through my mom's photo album. Because Mama had a camera back in the day, and she would print out physical photos. And I was going through that 2 weeks ago, and her face kept popping up. With her kids, and would host parties together, have lunches together. That's the type of upbringing that we had, and you were around back in the good old days. For many years we don't meet. For many years we don't meet at all. The next time that I meet you, you are at D2, Section D2, Sun City Correctional Services, or Johannesburg Correctional Services. You are in prison and you are wearing blue overalls. I'm on the other side and I am preaching, and we are part of the same congregation. I wanted to ask you, Laana in Sun City, what happened? Why are you here? You are serving a sentence at jail, and I wanted to know what brought you here. But because I didn't want it to be uncomfortable, and I was also puzzled, I didn't really understand what's going on, I deterred from doing that. But today you've graced us on 230 Conversations, and I really want to have that question answered. What happened to Umama, that we knew from Eperia? How do you find yourself incarcerated at Sun City?
2015, I lost my house. When I lost my house, things just went the other way around. No food for the kids, so I had to do something for them. 2015, I got a job, went to India, came back successfully. And then after about 2 weeks or so, they gave me another job. I went to Brazil. I stayed in Brazil, I think it was about about 6 weeks. Came back. On my way back, I could feel something was not okay, man. Because the guys, they wanted the picture of the luggage, they wanted the picture of myself. Okay, I took it was a procedure. Got to OR Tambo. I was told to leave the bag with the package. I left the bag with the package. I took my bag. As I was going out of the airport, the immigration officer comes running with that bag and threw it in front of me like, "Isn't this your bag?" I was like, oh my God, this is the end of me. So yeah, when that happened, the immigration officer took me to where they scan the bags and all that. It was a tricky trip though, because I knew I was going to get a lot of money out of it. At least that will help me. That was going to help me to do a lot of things and get a shelter for the kids. Yeah.
Let's trace back a bit, and Nkosi, please jump in lapho if there is something that you want to go in before.
Yeah.
Ning, it's a lot.
So I want to ask, where did it start? Like, you got your first job in India, and then, like, who introduced you to that type of setting? Like, you lost a job, and because it's not like you can wake up one day and then it's like, Ashley, I lost my job, and like, hi, wasn't Zukfaga. No. So how did you come into be in that space?
Okay, I was in Kempton Park at the time. I'd gone to, I think I was just window shopping at Kempton Park. Then some guy just approached me, I've got a job for you. So I thought it was something, something that I'll enjoy, something that I know. Okay, they need my passport. I'm like, what kind of a job is this? It's a traveling job. Okay, I just said to myself, okay, what kind? I didn't wanted to ask too much questions because I just wanted to see Uti, what is there, what's on the table for me. So when they explained the whole scenario, M7 and I went. They took my passport, they got me a visa and everything. They told me, they gave me money for food. That's the other thing is attractive. Some of us that don't have money. You're given money for food. You're given money for clothing. You're given money for anything that you want to do.
Do they give you? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So it was like just a random approach.
Just a random approach.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Mabagni, when they're giving you this money for food, is it money for food and clothes for the trip, or they start preparing you before that, look, this is the type of lifestyle that will get you accustomed to?
This is the money you're going to spend when you're there.
Oh, when you're there. Okay. So you don't go into detail, right, on what the job entails. But do you know that you're going to be engaging in something illegal?
Yeah, they do tell you. To you, when you get there, you're going to meet so-and-so.
Yeah.
That so-and-so is going to help you with everything that you need to bring back.
Oh, so you're going to collect and then you bring back. Yeah. And how much are you going to make out of this?
The first trip, I made 80,000.
Wow.
Sure. This is excluding Ogudla and clothing.
Excluding the money Ogudla.
Which is how much?
It was money Ogudla. I think they gave me about $2,000. It was in dollars. Yeah. Ogudla and Impasha and whatever I need. It was about $2,000 in total.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you travel, you go to India, nice trip. How much time do you spend in India?
India, I went, I think it was 2 months I was in India. Yeah, I was there for 2 months.
Yeah.
And so, Mause, India, say you're spending 2 months in India, you're going to collect. The person that you met at Kempton Park, is this an African, European? What nationality are we looking at here?
It was an African.
African. From which side of Africa?
A Nigerian.
West, because it's like West Africa. And then when you get to India, is it also a West African?
Yes.
Wow.
I was introduced to him as a brother. They're brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. We call each other brothers.
So when you come back, what package are you bringing back to South Africa?
Okay, when I was in Nurofen, yeah, it's like a liquid that I had to come back with. I didn't want to ask what is it for, so yeah, that was what I had to bring back. Unfortunately enough, that money that they had given me, I didn't spend it on food or anything. I bought clothes, yes, but I had to spend it back to send it back for the kids.
Yeah.
To do one, two things. So that's what happened.
Yeah, Kosi.
So in your time in India, what were you doing within that 2 months when you were there?
Sleeping, going out, and watching TV.
That's all.
That's all.
Why do you have to be there for 2 months though?
They'll be preparing the package.
So
Because it doesn't come from exactly where I was. Like I was in New Delhi and that thing was coming from Mombasa. So I'm not sure why it was taking so long.
Yeah.
Because when they told me it's going to be for 2 weeks. So I don't know, prolonged for what reason, I don't know. But yeah.
Do they then supplement that 2,000 and give you more on top because now it's a longer?
When I'm there, these brothers, they're the ones who are feeding me, taking me out to do whatever I want, buy clothes and whatever. That money I didn't like use it much. Yes, I did this and this, but Not
They're
much
taking
I
care
can-
of you.
Yeah, I was taking care of.
And Mauia Lapana, are you alone or do you travel as a group with other ladies as well?
I'm alone. I'm alone. And they keep me indoors so that I don't see a lot of people and talk, have friends and then talk, why are you here? And things like always you're indoors. If you have to go out, you go with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go with the guy. And Nakona, in India, it's blazing hot. You can't go out during the day. We used to go out like now 5, 6 when the sun is setting. That's when it's quite warmer.
All right. Now, when you're speaking about that, I remember I was watching one of the podcasts, like similar to your story, where this lady, she's like, she went there to, I think it was pasta in the Asian countries. So when she was there, they didn't like allow them to go outside a lot. Like they will be just indoors. If they wanted sanitary, they'll go and buy it for them. If they wanted this, they go and buy it for them. They were not allowed at all to move around.
So you're almost like back
Yeah, it's like-
so you're almost like in prison before you went to the
At least
actual
you get
prison.
everything.
Yeah. And then your kids, I want to know, what do you say to your children? Are they aware, or at least some family members? Does someone know what it is exactly that you're involving yourself in, or it's just yourself at this point?
The first trip, my family members didn't know anything. My kids knew that I'm going to India. I didn't tell them though what kind of a job I'm going to be doing there. Yeah.
And so you said you enter into this thing at the time when you've now just lost your house. Is this a bonded house or it's rentals that you've not been keeping up with?
It was my bonded house.
It was a bonded house. Now you disappear, you go to India, you come back, you get 80,000 rand. I imagine it's in cash. Nobody asks you in your family, amongst your family members, Manje, Malenga, where is this coming from?
It's a secret. It's between me and my kids. They know nothing.
What do you do with this money? I mean, 80,000 rand in...
At least that money, it helped me because we ended up getting ourselves a cottage.
Okay.
Yeah. The money, of course, the rent was less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to push us with that for that time. Yeah.
Okay, so you get a cottage, you're able to take care of some basic needs here and there, and then before you know it, let me guess, you realize that this money is gonna run out. I need to go and find another job. Or do the guys come back to you and say,
Basically,
"Hey,
no,
Mom"?
They come to you, they phone you. We've got another job for you.
Can you say no to them?
You can. But I think it was the greediness also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that, okay, the first one was successful. Let me try again. Yeah.
So these guys, Laana, so they're coming back phone money. Do you invest some time in getting to know them better, who they are, where they're coming from? Do you build some sort of rapport with them? Or?
Yeah, for some reason, the other guy's wife, she would come to us, she would take us out, me and the kids, to her house, cook for us. We were like getting this relationship with her. And she was also on the...
So when you say she was also on the, what does that mean? Like,
She was also
part of the group. She was also part of the group to make me comfortable.
okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it's not
Keeping
that she's also a victim of some sort,
No,
but
she was
she's
just trying to keep
mastermind.
me, keep me comfortable.
So, Manyama, they phone you. How long? You come back from India. How much time do you spend in South Africa before you get your next
I think
call?
it was after a month. I think it was after a month.
And the price is the same,
No,
80,000
it was now more.
Yeah.
I think it's different. Like
The price is now more because they're trying to attract you to take
How
it
much-
to live it.
how much
It
more?
was 120 now.
Yeah.
It was 120.
And if you'd done this successfully again, Shukti, the next job would have been higher as well.
Yeah.
is it like different for every time you go to a different place? Or it was...
I think so because the second time I went to a different place.
Oh, okay.
So then, Batsigwe, you're back now, you're getting called for another job. And you mentioned that the first job, you were the only one that knew. Your kids just knew that you were going to India. What is different now with the second job? Maybe just give us a bit of some narration into how it occurs, how you relate that to your family, if you do.
I didn't tell them on this one as well. because obviously they were gonna say, "Hey, this UK overseas thing of yours, something is not okay." So I had to be secretive with it as well. So yeah, when I was going there, my first child said to me, "Hey, mommy, this thing of yours, I'm not feeling it well. I think something's not gonna go well." I'm like, relax, everything's fine. I've got it right. We're going to be fine.
And how old is she at this point in time?
He was, I think he was about 15, and my girl was 12.
So you've got two, a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old. Just another African mom in the busy streets of Johannesburg trying to fend for their kids. You Seventh-day Adventist, right?
Yes, I am.
Born and raised Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then what happens now with the Brazil trip?
Okay, the Brazil trip was slightly different in the sense that everything was like now we were friends with these people. I was like, okay, I know the game, I was like, now I'm graduated now. Okay, same package, money-wise for food, whatever. The nice thing, the other thing that caught my mind was, you're South African, you've got a South African passport, don't worry, you're fine. Okay. I went to Brazil. I stayed in Brazil until July, from May until July.
And which year is this?
2015.
2015.
Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
So you waited again, same story, then you have to come back with the package. So you never take anything outside of South Africa?
No.
And it
Everything
was
I
the
have to
same
pay.
product that you're bringing in?
No, this time it was a different product.
What was it this time?
This time was cocaine.
Were you supposed to, how were you bringing it back? Still in a luggage, or because some of them, they down them inside their bodies?
Yeah,
and
I've seen that. Some like
It's very tricky the way they do their things, eh? It's very tricky. They got, you see these books, hardcover books, the black books.
Yeah, those counter books.
Counter books, yes.
Yeah.
They tear the front part of the book, and between the cover and the book, there's that page that is stuck to the book. They open it, then they suppress it on it, and then they close it with that paper again. And then they cover the book like it's brand new. Sometimes some of the other time they on the same package. Some of the package they use the albums for photos. They remove that paper and then they suppress it and they cover it nicely like it's a brand new book. So there were 6 of them.
6 books, 6 thick books. And how much street value does that have? Would you have any idea?
It was 4.2 kg,
4.2.
all in total. Street value, it was 1.something million.
Just for 4.2 kilograms. Yo. So when people are moving these huge numbers, you're talking billions and billions of rands. Yeah. So you've got this bag now. Where do these books get kept?
The books are also there. They bought like second-hand clothes. They put them inside as well.
Okay.
Yeah, mixed it like, it's a bag. It's a traveling bag with people's things. Surprisingly, I was shocked. How did these people know exactly where the package is?
Okay.
That's when I found out, no, this is a game. This is a game because these immigration officers and these people who sent me, they're somehow connected. Because the minute they take that package, now when they talk about the package, it's now less. And then you find out, where is the other package? I had 4.2, now it's 2 point something. Something is not okay here, so...
And the benefit is you lose your 180, they throw you away to
once
the
you
dogs.
get there and you're caught, they don't know you.
Yeah.
Their numbers are on silent or whatever. You can't get hold of them.
But what commercial benefit do they get from that? I mean, say you bring in the entire 4.2 and then they allow you to bring all of it in without you getting caught. Because if it's now half, then they stand to lose what? If it was, you say 1.2, then they're probably losing just about over 500,000 rand. Wouldn't it be cheaper for them to just let you bring it in and then, give you your 180?
I honestly don't know how they do their things. I don't know how they do their things. But what I know is there is a game somewhere, somehow.
Is there any chance that 1.2 or whatever you got arrested for somehow finds its way back to them?
No.
That would be, it's impossible.
They only get like part of it.
Yeah.
Then part of it is confiscated from them.
Then look, the only reason why I'm asking this is because we know the corruption in our country and what's on it. And if it's a syndicate, how big is the syndicate? Is there any possibility that, even after you've been found guilty and then, you get thrown into prison somewhere, somehow through corrupt acts, they still get that back? And it still cost them less than the 108, 120 that they would have given to you. Just thinking. So anyway, so you are now caught. What do you go through? I mean, what's running through your mind at that point in time? The immigration officers are coming to you. You are at the airport. What's going on there?
When I got out of the plane, there was like a lot of them standing on the other side of the plane. And then they took my passport. She looked at me and took the passport and she says, "Come with me." I'm like, "Ivo, what did I do now?"
And this is an immigration officer.
Yeah, that was the immigration officer. And then immediately I said, "Can I go to the toilet?" I went into the toilet. I took my SIM card because I thought maybe they were going to find out or they will want to take my phone to see who I've been communicating with.
Yeah.
Took my SIM card. I flashed it. I just changed everything on my phone. Came out, "Are you fine?" "Yes, I'm fine." She took my passport. I'm following her around. She goes into a scanner. They scan me. I think they knew who I was.
Yeah.
They knew who I was. They took me into a scanner, scanned me. They thought maybe I swallowed it.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay. She was with me everywhere. Like now I'm a guarded person, you understand? Went to the desk to stamp my passport. And then when we were going to the carousel, that's when she gave me my passport back. Because she could see it, okay, she's got nothing on her body.
Yeah.
As I was taking my bag, that's where now the whole scenario happened. I just thought to myself, oh, can this just open up? Can the ground just open up? Let it just swallow me. Because I just saw that man walking with anger, man. Yeah, isn't this your bag? I'm like, oh my goodness, how did you know?
Does this bag have your name on it? Or?
Yes, of course, it's got my name on it. But how did you know it was me?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing that worried me. How did you know it was my bag? Because what they told me when I was coming, they told me I should leave that bag. That bag initially was not supposed to come on the carousel.
Okay.
They were supposed to keep it wherever they keep it, because they knew my name.
Yeah.
They were supposed to keep it. Now it was circulating there. That's what was now like, okay, this is not right.
So
This syndicate is so big that by the time that you arrive, there's already somebody that's been communicated to that this bag must not leave the plane with the normal bags to go to the carousel.
Yes.
Do, like, when you, at that time, when you, do you think someone snitched on you? Like when you were in Brazil and then you came through, someone was already waiting for you, looking
So
through
is
your
it something that
passport.
happens at OR Tambo, or do you think that the snitching happens
The
from back?
snitching happened when I was there, because when I was there, they asked me to send the picture of the bag and the picture of my passport.
Okay.
So I think somewhere, somehow, why would they want the picture of the bag?
Yeah. So by the time you get to South Africa, the officials know what the bag looks like, and they know what this passport is going to look like. Or who's the
Exactly.
owner.
That's why when I got out of the airport, out of the plane, they already took my passport, because they already saw, okay, this is the person that we are looking for.
So on the picture, when you're sending the picture and your passport, who was it going to initially?
It was going to these guys who sent me. That's why I will always say there's a game.
Yeah,
There's a
big
game
game.
somewhere
So
here.
you became a pawn in this game of
Understand,
chess.
yeah.
And so now the officials are upon you. Ingane zakho.
Ish.
uNkulunkulu wakho.
Yeah, ne? You know, sometimes when you're in that situation, you've got this prayer that doesn't end. The prayer that just thinking that maybe they will change their mind, or they won't find what they are looking for. You're just praying. Yeah, I did think of my kids so much, especially my girl. I did think about them, my kids so much.
12-year-old and a 15-year-old. That's like grade 15-year-old at that point.
Grade 9.
Grade 9
7.
and 12 is 7. So she's not even left primary
No, she
school.
was in grade 8.
She's got grade 8.
Yeah, she was in grade 8.
What happens afterwards? Can you just take us through from the airport? What follows thereafter?
After the airport, that's when now I called my family. Now I have to involve my family.
For the first time, they've never known what you involved
For
in.
the first time,
They were
don't
just
know
them up
anything.
groove and we're spending the money because that's what we're good at after
I
all.
just told them I've been arrested. What for? I just stormed out and cried. I just cried. They took me from the airport. They took me to Edenvale, holding cells. That's when my sisters came. And then it came out of the TV. That was the worst.
Was it on TV?
Yeah, that was the worst. But my face was not shown. It was like such a lady from South Africa was
Yeah, it's
caught.
been arrested.
You know how they say it, yeah.
You've
It's
probably
been
made
arrested.
news in Brazil as well at this point in time for all you care. Yeah.
I didn't care about Yeah, it came out of the news. That's when now everybody knew about it. My sisters knew about it. So, yeah, they came and saw me. And the bad thing, I was caught on a Saturday. And when I was coming to take my bags, there were so much dogs. I was like, hi, Bo. All of a sudden, there's so much dogs at the airport. Okay. That was a Saturday. And when you are arrested on a Saturday, you sleep Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that's when you go to court. So yeah, they took me to Sun City. Then after the court case, then I went to Sun City.
Tell me about the interrogation when you are being held at those cells in Edenvale. Who is sent to come and interrogate you there?
There was not much interrogation. There was this lady who came. Apparently, that lady was part of this gang.
Police lady?
No. One of a Nigerian lady who
Yeah.
came. She brought me toiletries and all, and I'm like, okay, who are you?
So she comes as a visitor?
Yes. I'm like, okay, who are you? She says, no, I'm part of I'm the brother of, I'm the sister of such and such a person.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. She brought me toiletries, food, and whatever. I'm like, okay, it's fine. But there was no interrogation with the police, nothing whatsoever.
So they don't invest any effort to try and figure out who sent you,
No.
who you're transporting these things for?
No. It was at the airport when they asked me about all those things. Who sent you?
Yeah. Do they take statements from you at the airport? So
they
it's
didn't
just
take-
verbal
Yeah, it was
questioning?
just like, but the way I was looking at them,
Yeah.
I knew, these people knew who sent me. They knew what was going on. They knew.
So what was your, like, after the interrogation, going to Edenville, what was, like, the process? Did you have trial? Did you have...
Yeah, my trial was 1 year.
So did you thingy, what do you call it, Gojen? Guilty or not guilty? What was your plea? Not guilty.
I told them not guilty. I don't know if I'm guilty.
So you were supposed to be at church, you get arrested on a Saturday, and then you plead not guilty. So your trial runs for a year. Now I know that process. You must now bring a bail application. Do you bring a bail application?
I did bring a bail application. They refused me because they said I'm a flight risk.
So for that 1 year, you are inside. Which prison are you at this point?
I'm at Sun City.
Sun City. So they took you to Sun City. You never went to any other prison?
No,
just
straight to Sun City. I was attending Kempton Park.
Yeah. So no bail, 1 year. What happens after the 1 year?
After the 1 year, that was in July, sometime in July 2016. That's when I was now sentenced. I was sentenced to 10 years.
10 years, okay.
I was sentenced to 10 years.
What are your thoughts at this point? You spent 1 year, so you almost have like an idea of what prison life is, which I'm going to ask that you take us through, momentarily. At the time that you were sentenced, what type of a person, from, if you compared the person that is being sentenced to the person that got arrested, is there any difference between the two? I know the first one was scared. The first one was praying for her children. She wanted the world to swallow her up. How about the one that is being sentenced?
It was very difficult, to be honest with you. It was very, very difficult. Leaving my kids, it was the worst. Okay, when I got there, I didn't want anyone to know that I was arrested, especially my Christian friends. I didn't want them to know that I was there. They would come to preach and all that. They would ask me, do you want us to tell the church? I said, no, don't tell anyone.
And what is that? Like, what's your relationship with the church?
It's the embarrassment.
And the shame,
it's the embarrassment that you feel at that moment. I've failed a lot of people. I've failed my kids, my family, my friends, my church. It's just that embarrassment.
In church, were you like a deaconess? Were you in any activities in church while you were?
Not really. It's my kids that were in Pathfinders, the forefront, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When they go to camp, sometimes I would go with them, but I was not like in a big position. Yeah.
And because I just want us to tap into that a little bit. They're saying that we are a Christian platform. Now, you've been arrested. The last people that you want to know that you've been arrested is the church. That to me just doesn't sound right, because I think that, and if I were in your position, I would have probably also wanted the same thing. I don't want the church people to find out. But doesn't it say something about, the church community there? We've got a twisted idea of what church should be, because I would think that if you were in a perfect world, the first people that you'd want to know when you are in such a situation should actually be your church people that understand, would know, we people, we go through the most, we falter, we make mistakes, and then come in to support one another. Would you feel, well, you obviously didn't think that of the church, but did you get that type of support from the church? Or what type of a church would one want to have in a situation of that nature?
Fortunately enough, people from the church, they did support me a lot. They supported me a lot, even bringing toiletries for me. There was this women's ministries, they would bring toiletries for me and all that thing. Not for me, for us. One thing I was scared of is to be labeled. I was scared to be labeled, and the embarrassment that I was gonna face from these people, that's what was pushing me out of their presence.
Because you're
Mother figure. For me, you were basically a mother and you've got all of these other young kids as well. So you'd think that stigma would carry a negative connotation that you weren't interested in.
Yeah. Especially also for my kids. I was scared that, all these kids are going to say, your mother is in prison. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's going to be like, my kids are going to be facing all these challenges because of people who are labeling them because of me.
Of which you can't really keep this thing from the public, so people will get to know. But what do your kids then say to you? Because at some point it has to break out there. There's going to be that one family member that you tell in confidence. They will then go and tell that boyfriend that they're interested in, also in confidence. And then before you know it, that boyfriend is also telling his true girlfriend. And then it's now out there in the open. So how do your kids then react to this once this thing breaks out? Church members know, family members know. What type of treatment do they get?
I think this whole thing pushed them to stop going to church. So they just stopped going to church. I was like, I got to a point there I was not even worried about who knows it and who doesn't know it. There were some ladies who came. They asked me, hey, who's so-and-so wants to see you? So-and-so wants to come and see you. I said, you know what? Tell them to come. Just tell them. Because now I think I was like, I didn't care anymore. Because every time when somebody comes, they will ask me, somebody wants to see you. Somebody wants to come and visit you. I would say, no, not now. No, not now. But then I got to that point that, okay, how long am I going to keep this away from you? How long am I going to shut them away from me? Let them come.
Would they come though?
Yeah, they would. They would.
Would they come to judge, or they'll be asking questions?
I think most of them came to see is it really you? Are you really there? You understand? You don't know what they were saying behind me, but that's what I think they were coming to check. Are you really there for real?
Come and confirm this.
Yeah, to confirm.
Yeah, look, and I think it's a human thing, because when I met you in D2, I didn't expect to see you there. I'd been there many, many times, and I just didn't expect to see you there. And I must say, I've had burning questions, and I'm close with the kids and what's on, but I couldn't ask anybody. I couldn't even ask you, and that's why I was very happy, when you said yes to come to this platform, because the human thing, but now your kids, when they stop going to church, do they stop going to church because they already feel a certain aura when they go into church, or they stop going to church because they were fearing that this is the atmosphere that they might expose themselves to?
I think they were fearing the atmosphere that they would be exposed to. They were fearing the people asking, how's mom? How has she been sentenced? You understand?
Yeah.
All those questions the kids don't wanna know, don't wanna answer, because obviously, partly they don't know what's going on. They don't know when it's my sentencing. They don't know anything. But it was surprising when I was sentenced. My kids told me, oh, so you're only gonna be there for 5 years. I'm like, how do you know?
Were they not attending the hearings?
They were attending. They were, yeah.
And giving you all of that support.
Yeah.
Does this little mishap that you've now experienced affect their development in any way? I mean, they're still quite young, 15 and 12. When you look at it in hindsight, do you think that it might have negatively affected them?
Yeah, my son.
Your son?
Yeah, my son was negatively affected by this whole thing. It really hit him bad. It really hit him very bad.
And how does that negativity manifest in his development?
I think the thing that is going on with him, he's closed himself away from everyone. He's got this thing, he thinks we owe him. That's the thing. He thinks we owe him everyone that was around him when I was not there. He thinks they owe him everything when I was not there.
Okay.
So I've been telling him, no one owes you anything. We don't owe you anything. You have to grow up and be a man. So yeah, I'm trying to bring him back, but he's one person that was
severely
affected.
Because I want to know about prison. Prison is an interesting place, and we had Skim last telling us he was almost, Skim said to us, he's the last time he was here, he said that he was the main guy at jail. His voice went. Is that always the case? In fact, when you met Skim, he said to you, were you Malume? What does that even mean? Were you Malume at prison? Well, what's the life there? You've now found yourself. And what's the difference between the awaiting trial section to D2 after you've been sentenced? What type of lifestyle are you living there in prison?
Okay. Awaiting trial it's difficult to be in the awaiting trial because you don't know when is your fate. You don't know when this thing is ending. You're just in and out, going to court and back, court and back, court and back. But when you're sentenced, it's a different situation. Now you're counting. You're counting now, okay, on such and such a day, at least I'm going to go home. Yes, with my situation, born and bred as a Seventh-day Adventist, it was a different situation because at least I knew God when I went into prison. I knew who God was. It's not like I was like there and then God visited me. Yes, there were times when you really feel like, okay, today I had a wrestle with God. I was like Jacob did with God. You feel like there were those days, but then as a Seventh-day Adventist, I think you saw, but I was one of the leaders of the Seventh-day Adventist. Anything that happens with the Seventh-day Adventist, any members that come to preach as a Seventh-day Adventist, I would be called to usher them in. I would be called to tell them what happens here, how we do things in prison.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the nice thing about it because everybody knew, all the warders, they knew when it's Saturday.
No, that's all right. You can go ahead.
When it's Saturday, they know I'm there. I'm there to run the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Yeah.
And so does that make it easier for you in prison? Because we know with these gangs and all of those type, 26, 28, are they there in the female side as well? Those type
The
of things?
female, like you said about the Malum thing, the Malum thing is It's like the lesbian things.
Oh,
That's the Malume thing.
okay.
The Malumes are the girls who act like men. That we would call them Malumes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shoot, man, so when you're Malume, you're the one that's in charge, basically. But lalapi, because I know, but landlord, lalapi pants, landlord,
Lala
lalapi
pants, eh.
Okay, and then the tenant, lalapi.
Yeah. The first few months you sleep on top.
Okay.
And then you upgrade. When you upgrade, you go down.
Can you upgrade without becoming a Malume?
Yeah, you can upgrade. There are not a lot of Malumes, and besides, there are a lot of cells.
Okay.
There are a lot of cells. So obviously, maybe in one cell, there will be a Malume in one cell or two of them and things like that. Then you upgrade as time goes on.
Okay.
The more your sentence goes, the more
Who upgrades you though?
No, you get people who leave. When they leave, it depends when do you come.
Okay.
So
then you take over like
Yeah,
that.
you take over.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It depends.
How were you treated in jail during that time? Like, was it hard? Was it like wake up and sleep, or like, because obviously there's violence, and I don't know if I watch too much TV, but I've seen violence in these prison cells.
There is violence, but not in the female side. The female side, it's the quiet parts. If you want violence, be involved in these Malume things.
And then you get the
there's
violence.
You just have to keep yourself busy. There's school. I did my matric in 2018
Wow.
in prison. I passed. I failed only one subject. There's school. There's so much things to keep you busy. There's the gym. There's sports. There's so much things to keep you busy. Unless if you are that person who wants to eat, sleep. Yeah, there are those people who want to eat, sleep. But if you want to see your day go fast, you just have to keep yourself busy.
I see. So there's not violence when you compare. It's more on the male side.
I did not experience violence during my time. Yeah, I didn't experience violence.
Okay. Because Unandi Pamus has been trending this last couple of weeks for alleged violence at jail. Says she was attacked by
I saw
a
that.
mentally ill person. So those type of things, do they happen once in a while that you find yourself?
It depends also where you are. Like there's also the hospital section. The hospital section is sometimes you get all these people.
Psychos.
Yeah, the psychos, the nyaope people. Yeah, those are the people that can cause a lot of violence because it will be like coming out of their system. So they'll be fighting this thing coming out
Then
of
they
their
become
system.
violent.
So,
Like rehab.
Rehabs. Yeah.
And then in the, who are you like with in the cells? Is it like the people who have similar, what do you call this? I'm looking for the word.
Sentences. Or you just get mixed up with
Or you
normal
just
violence.
get mixed up with everyone, murderer.
No. They were the medium. This section is D2 was the medium section. Excuse me, it's the medium section where you get people from robberies, what's this? Shoplifting, drugs, and all those medium.
So you're not really getting like your hardcore guys from
Hardcore, it's
maximum.
the other section, D3. That's where you get all the murderers.
I see.
We were separated from them. Yeah.
I just wanted to find out from my team if we have any ghost questions before we continue probing into this interesting interview. Bafethu, anybody there with a ghost question? Okay, there's someone who is penning. So we'll give him time to set up umthandazo lapho. Let's get his ghost questions to come in. So prison was not that bad.
It was not that bad.
You've got that 1 year. So did you do 6 years in total, including awaiting trial, or was your awaiting trial part of the 5 years?
No, awaiting trial, it's on its own.
Okay.
You start counting from the day they sentence you.
So they don't take that into account, I would say.
No, they don't. You start counting from the day they sentence you.
So you currently out on parole. Is it how does that work?
Okay, seeing that my sentence was 10 years, so you save 10 years inside. Then outside, you have to go and sign every month for another 5 years.
Wait, so 10 years, so you serve
5 years inside
5
and
years
5 years
inside,
outside.
5 outside, okay.
And fortunately for me, I'm finishing in July. July will be my last
You're 5 years. Kumele senze iparty. Senze 2:30
So how does that
conversations.
work? Like serving a sentence like 5 years in, 5 years out. How does that 5 years out work?
You're not supposed to go out of the country.
Okay.
You're not supposed to. They give you rules. In fact, yeah, you're not supposed to go out of the country without notification. You're not supposed to just change your address without notification. When you're working, you have to tell them that you're working, so at least they give you weekend to sign. Like I went today in the morning to sign. So I only go weekends to sign. So now, after 6 months, they change your signing. It's every month for 6 months. After 6 months, now you go every 2 months, every 2 months, every 2 months. Like now, I went today. My next one will be in June.
Okay.
And then after June, it's the 11th of July when I'm closing off.
If you miss it,
You go back and you serve the whole sentence.
the whole 5
That's remaining.
Yeah, the remaining.
or the
The
remaining.
remaining, yeah.
Okay.
I want to ask something, Laana Kosi, before these ghost questions start jumping in. Ne? You didn't get bail.
No.
Say you got bail. You say you didn't get bail because the court determined that you were flight risk. Say you got it. Were you going to skip the country?
Definitely. Definitely, I was going to skip the country.
So you're not going to stay at all?
I was not going to stay on.
A follow-up question. Were you going to continue doing...
No, I was not. I've got family out of the country. I was going to go and to stay there.
And disappear.
Disappear even for the rest of my life.
And this 80,000 rand was not worth it.
It was not worth it, honestly. It was because money goes very fast, eh?
Yeah.
It goes very, before you know it, it's finished.
Still Buffett, ghost.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate. Thank you for the story. I wanted to know, now that you're in jail, your relationship with God. How was it, and how do you think your treatment from the church? And if you were to advise anyone in the future, it might be someone who has gone through what you've gone through, or someone who has done criminal activities, how the church should respond to those kind of people. So I want to know how the church did to you, how they treated you, and your relationship with God then and even now.
Okay, my relationship with God, it became more advanced.
Okay.
In a way, you don't have time to do anything. The only time you have is God. That's the only time you have. It's God and the Bible. God and the Bible. Especially for some, we would get people like Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, coming from different churches. Even Seventh-day Adventists, they would come like Tuesdays to do whatever courses they do with us. So there is no time to think about anything else. It's God throughout the day, through God throughout the sentence. Yes, the church supported me greatly.
Beautiful.
The church did support me so much. When we have something called Family Day, where you get visitors like for the whole day. We'd be outside, braaiing and, all those things. The church would come. You get some ladies from church coming to visit me. So the church, they really supported me. I won't lie. The church really supported me. They really supported me.
And after the fact, Umta was also asking that now, do you still get that support from Ibandla after you come out?
Not really, eh? Not really. I think I've distanced myself.
And that's you.
Yeah,
so you've
that's me. I've
intentionally just distanced
distanced
yourself.
myself. I know when I go to the day I'm gonna go to church, I'm gonna get all those things. Oh, you understand? That's what
and you don't want
now
to
don't want
triggers.
to have that attention. People who haven't heard would say, okay, where was I all this time? They would have a conversation on me. So I don't want to have that. Yes, I come, like Ashley saw me 2 weeks ago. I just come and then disappear. That's it.
Why don't you change branches?
A lot of, I'm known.
Everywhere.
I'm known.
But you can join at 2:30 because we've got strangers everywhere.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Come and join our
to join the
movement,
2:30.
No, please, and you're more than welcome. Join 2:30
We're
conversations.
talking about it to want to join 2:30.
You consider yourself rehabilitated because
I
that's the
consider
point of
myself.
prison.
Mta was asking me about what would I say about crime. Crime does not pay.
Yeah.
Crime does not pay. Going there and be locked at their time, eat at their time, only 2 meals. You only eat breakfast. Sometimes it's the food that you don't want.
Yeah.
And then there's lunch. The lunch, you don't want to know. That's it. And then in the evening, you get 5 slices of bread. That's all you have.
Yeah.
If you don't get visits, then tough luck. You don't have anything. You just have to eat that 5 slices of bread.
Yeah.
We have another ghost question, but before she jumps in, there's a woman, manje, okulalele, or who's going to be listening to this podcast in a similar position that you are in. I know you've said crime doesn't pay. In the exact, maybe even worse position, about to go to bed hungry, no shelter, kids that are starving, fees that is not paid, a lot of responsibilities that's on their shoulder from the community, unemployed, maybe also lost their job. They're going to be doing window shopping in Kempton Park tomorrow. And my brother is going to visit them and greet them. How would you advise that lady? Sort of something realistic, something practical. What should they do? And they stuck. They basically about to make the same decision that you made. And they're being offered 80,000 rand in hard cash. And when you advise about you to think about that 80,000 rand in cash, hard, cold cash, juxtapose it or compare it with the emotions that you went through at OR Tambo that day and give them some sort of advice.
Hey, that 80,000 is not worth it at the end of the day, because once you get caught on the wrong side of the crime or whatever, they don't have mercy with you. There is no mercy. You're going down. You're going down. So what I would advise a person like that, it's not easy, I know. It's not easy at all. But they must just hang in there.
Ghost?
This has been an emotional roller coaster of an interview, because I was like, I can imagine if I was in a hectic situation like that and I meet my brother myself, what would I have done? But I just wanted to know, we've spoken about the church and your reintegration into the church. Maybe you feel you need to stay away. What about society? Because you were on TV. People saw you, people who know you, your neighbors. How was that? Your reintegration to society, how was it?
The nice thing, my picture was not put on TV. So they didn't mention my name and my picture was not there. So no one knew what was happening. No one knew who this lady was. It was just a lady from South Africa was caught from Brazil. So no one knew what happened there, who's this lady was, except the people that knew me, like my family. Yeah.
So the reintegration into the community then
it was not much.
except for when you intentionally decide to
except the people that I was living with, since that I was staying in Kempton Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, how was it for you when you're now applying for jobs, for work and all that?
It was very strange how I got this job. I believe I was given by God. I came out in May 2021. December 2021, the lady I was told there's a lady who wants help in the house. So I was helping her during December time. I helped her the whole of December because her worker was not there. So she had gone for Christmas, so I had to take over just to work during that time. I left I worked the whole of December and then I left. And then in February, the lady calls me. She says, she's got a better job for me. That's when now I went back. That's why I'm working where I am right now.
Beautiful.
No, Buffett, it's been a lovely interview. We can ask you questions and questions and questions.
Oh, and I think that's all.
Say it. We want to hear that part. I think that's the most interesting part.
Okay, just a few months ago, she told me that I'll be moving from where I am now. I'm going to a bigger company.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's like promotion from without becoming Malum, and you come out, you still promotion. So the only promotion that didn't go right was Brazil. That promotion to 120 was a problem. But thank you so much, my ex, and we thank you so much for your time. Kosi, parting words mnganami before Sivala.
Parting words.
Yeah, or parting question, comment, words.
Okay, maybe it's a question that I'm going to ask, taking you back to the first, like when you started having this conversation. It's purely on like the visa process. Like you say, you gave them your visa, you gave them your, but when you're doing visas, isn't it you're supposed to go for questions, you're supposed to go for interviews? Do you think like this drug industry is like bigger in the sense that everyone is connected to it and it can't be like shut down by anyone, even the government itself?
That was a surprise for me. When they asked me for my passport without me going there, they just took my passport the following, after a week. That's when they came, my visa is on my passport. These people, they have connections everywhere they go. They had this, I think their travel agent they were using was somewhere in Sierra Leone. They've got connections everywhere. You never know. That's where they do their jobs. In that travel agent. They have connections everywhere.
So even if you like snitch, like they won't like get to them.
You're gonna snitch and say what? Because you've never been to that travel agency.
Wow.
I've never been there. They just take my passport and come back with it, with a visa on it.
I think my bonga wants to ask something. He's got something that's saying fake identity, Nyana. I don't know what that means. Klape is asking you should have used a fake identity or something. Lawa, have you met them since your release?
Yeah, I did meet them after I was released. Because we spoke some time before I was released. They told me, no, when you come out, we've got a big check for you. Okay, now until I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't have money.
Yeah.
I don't have, you understand?
You're waiting for that check.
I want that check now. I went to them. I said, and then I want my check. They started giving me stories. Hey, you didn't go well in Brazil, so the money that the package, we lost a lot. Now it was a story after story. I said, you know what? I don't want to hear anything from you.
Yeah. And you never thought of reporting them?
No, I never thought of reporting them because they didn't put a gun on my head to go and do it. They never forced me. I did it willingly. So I thought to myself, okay, I must report them and say what?
No, thank you so much, good people. It's been a great interview. I think there's a couple of things that we can learn from this. Personally, I must say that there are a couple of things that I'm proud of. I'm happy that, often our judicial system is attacked, but here is a judicial system that denied you bail. And today you're sitting and saying they were right, because had I received that bail, I was going to skip the country. Here's a judicial system that took you through, that 1-year trial, found you guilty. Painful thing. I can only imagine what you went through. You did your time. You were rehabilitated, which is the point of our correctional services facilities. You came out. Whilst you were still in, the church supported you. And even when you're out, the church is still supporting. And that really just brings a smile to me, because I think that's the type of community that we're supposed to be having. And Siyabonga Kakhulu, thank you so much for taking your time out to come and share your story with us. We pray that you only grow from strength to strength. Clearly, uNkulunkulu wakho promotes you wherever you are. And we have no doubt that he's going to keep on promoting you. So may he bless you, my ex. And yeah, kids, stay away from drugs. Mummies, also stay away from drugs. That's 230 Conversations. Say Vala. Danko.